Well, hello friends, Scott from Platte River Keto. If you're new to my channel, welcome. On my channel, you get to come along for the ride on my keto journey. I check in with you once a week to update you on my keto progress, and I try to check in with you at least one other time during the week to share something, usually something that I've discovered about the ketogenic lifestyle, but occasionally something that I've discovered about this little journey that we call life. Today is Saturday, which means it's a weekly update day. So I'm going to update you on my goals, and I have a couple other things that I wanted to share with you today. So first, let's go ahead and just get started with my goals. First goal is to have a DDPY workout every day. Did that. Definitely going really well on my workout program. I am doing the longer and harder workouts to some degree. I'm still on the basic program, but I'm adding in workouts in between my off days in order to help with that. And I did the hour-long workout today with the 10-second push-ups, which was really tough, but it went pretty well. So feeling really good on my workouts. I feel like I'm into a groove with that again, which is nice. And I'm feeling like I'm really getting my strength back and my flexibility back, which is really good that that's kind of come back for me. The next thing in relation to that sort of is walking daily. I've been getting my walks in every day, which has been great. I know my dogs have appreciated it for sure, and some days I even get my wife to go along with me, which is nice. So had walks every day. That's been really, really good. Again, I changed the keto snacking daily into OMAD. As you guys know, I'm doing OMAD for the next month. I kind of started at the end of May, but I'm going to go ahead and do it for the whole month of June. That's been going really well. I really am enjoying fasting every day, the 23 hours, and then feasting during my 1 hour feasting window. It's been good for me. I haven't felt too particularly deprived, and it's really helped me obviously cut out the snacking, which is something I was kind of struggling with, which is why I had that snacking goal to begin with. But that goal has kind of changed, like I said, to the OMAD, and I'm doing that for the next month or so, and that's been going really well. So I've been doing the 1 meal a day every day. I've been eating inside my 1 hour eating window, and it's been really good. So yay for that. Next, the goal to be 295.6 by July 23rd. I did check my relationship with Earth's gravity today. As you guys know, I did not check it last week. So the week before I was at 316.8. Today I was at 312.0. So I'm down 4.8 pounds. Again, that's basically 4.8 pounds in 2 weeks because I didn't check my weight last week. But OMAD is definitely helping. I'm getting my relationship with Earth's gravity headed back in the right direction again, which is really good. I'm excited about that. Obviously, that's not the main focus of what I'm doing, but it's certainly a good way to measure what's going on. So I'm really happy with that progress. Finally, getting my Bible study in weekly. I did that this week. It's been really good. Been reading together as a family, which has been great for us. And so, yeah, everything's going really, really well. I'm really pleased with my progress. I feel like I've really got myself back into a groove and headed in the right direction, and I'm confident that I'll be able to reach my goals. The goals that I have, again, to be 295.6 by July 23rd. Just as reference for those of you, anybody who's happened upon my channel, I started out at 475.6. So I am down at this point a little over 163 pounds, and it'll be 2 years, July 21st. So I'm coming up on 2 years on keto. But looking better, feeling great. So yeah, things are just going really well. The things that I wanted to talk about with you today, actually, it's interesting because it kind of relates to what I was just sharing with you, kind of where I started and where I'm at, is just in the last week, I've had a couple of different people say, how well I'm doing, which is great. People who've known me for a while can definitely see a significant difference. But they ask, maybe ask a question or two about what it is that I do, and they're like, oh man, I wish I had your willpower, or I wish I had your motivation. And I've always found that interesting because I'm not surprised that people say that, because I used to always say that too. But it's not really about motivation. There's an actual book called The Motivation Myth, and I will tell you that I believe that motivation is a myth in that it can keep you going, and that I could have had motivation for almost 2 years to do what I've done. The weight loss that I've had, the improved health that I've had, that motivation has somehow gotten me where I've needed to be in these last 2 years. That's absolutely false. Motivation comes and goes, and it goes, in my opinion, a lot more often than it comes. And I think it's a myth that people think, if I just had the motivation, if I just had the willpower, I could do it. Now, having said that, what I think motivation is great for is getting started. Motivation is great for setting up your systems, for putting the things in place, setting up your tasks that you're going to complete, setting up your meal plan, setting things up, getting things in motion. Having motivation is fantastic for that. Having said that, motivation is not good for the long term. It's your systems and the things that you have in place, the community that you have in place, the systems that you've set up so that you can have the discipline to be successful is really what's going to make the difference. So I feel like, and I spent many years of my life trying to diet and do the other things and counting on motivation to keep me going. And the fact of the matter is that motivation just doesn't work because, quite frankly, guys, most of the time, life isn't perfect. And, you had a bad day, your boss said something mean to you, there was a client at work that wasn't nice, or something's going on in your personal life, your car broke down, something's wrong with your house. Like, we're in a constant state of life isn't perfect. It was interesting. I was actually talking with my brother last week when he was visiting. And he said something to me. It was really nice. He just mentioned how I was saying something about the fact that, I had gotten down just barely under 300 pounds. And obviously I gave some back during the end of tax season. And I'm on my way back down again. But I was kind of lamenting where I was at. And he's like, Scott, you went through a really tough time and you stuck with what you're doing. Like, how awesome is that? How impressive is that? And that's really what life is, really, is that we have a lot of difficult times. Life is, it's funny. I'm thinking of a quote that I'm not going to get quite right, but it was Gordon B. Hinckley shared a quote that life is like an old-time rail journey. And again, I'm not going to be able to quote it directly, but basically that life is like an old-time rail journey. There's dust and cinders and all these other things interspersed occasionally by great bursts of speed and vistas. Beautiful vistas. And the trick is to thank the Lord for letting you have the ride. And that's really what life is. There's a lot of times when there's soot and ash and things that kind of get in our way. But occasionally we do have those beautiful vistas and we do have those bursts of speed. But we thank the Lord for letting us have the ride. And we learn how to live when we're not currently viewing one of those beautiful vistas and we're not currently having one of those great bursts of speed, because most of our life is more of that. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. And again, I don't fault the people that said that to me this week. I understand where they're coming from. I used to be that person, thinking that if I just had a little more motivation or a little more willpower, that I'd be able to be successful. And like I said, motivation has its place. It helps us to start. It helps to get that to get the train rolling. It helps to put those systems in place. But what's actually going to be success, really cause your success, is that you have your systems in place and you have your daily habits in place. That's really what's going to make the difference. The other thing that I wanted to share with you guys today is that we need to give things time to work. The other thing that I seem to hear or read on Facebook and just hear from friends and other things is, I'm trying this new thing, and then a week later, I'm trying this different thing. And, I read an article that says that this is bad for me. So even though I've only been trying to do it for a week, I'm now going to go away from it. I should be doing intermittent fasting. No, I should be doing one meal a day. No, I should be doing high protein and low fat, and I should be doing high fat and lower protein. And people just not giving new things time to work. I think that if you're going to try something new, anything new, whether it be a new workout program or a new part of your diet, you're going to introduce a new food or try a new, whatever the plan happens to be. So for example, I'm doing OMAD, right? You need to give it at least a month. Because first of all, your body, whether it's exercise or whether it's food or whatever, your body's going to take a little time to adjust to the new thing that you're doing. And if you don't give it time to see how it actually works, I think way too often we try something new and different, expecting results right away, and we're in the transition period with our body where our body's going like, what are you doing? We're not used to this. And we feel a little bit off because our body is saying, hey, this is different. I'm not so sure about this. And then we quit. And we think that thing was terrible. Now, the fact of the matter is that thing might not have worked for you, even if you gave it some time. But the only way to know is to give it some time. So in addition to realizing that motivation is a myth, and that it's really the systems and habits that we put in place that give us success. The other thing I would say to you guys today is to, if you're trying something new, give it time. Give it at least a month to see how it works. Whatever it is, like I said, whether it's OMAD or trying higher fat or lower fat or a new exercise program, give it a month and see how it works, and then evaluate and go after. If after a month you still feel crummy and things are not going well, it's okay to throw in the towel. And I'm not saying that that's a hard and fast rule. Occasionally you try something that is a complete disaster, and maybe you do know before you hit the month mark. But man, as a general rule, give something time to work. Give it at least a month. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Thank you for being a part of my journey. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, take the opportunity to do that. Hit the little bell icon so that you'll be notified the next time I check in with you. Keep calm and keto on. We'll talk to you guys soon.